To the main. Here we see Jeremy with a great charge out front.
This was easy for McGrath, difficult for Stevenson, number 27. Crashed in an arena cross race a couple of weeks ago. He has 60 stitches in his hands and arms. How are you going to race Supercross with that many stitches? He raced pretty well until eventually it got to him. Here's Larocco first to get by.
Larocco, the block pass, would eventually hold on to second place all the way behind Jeremy McGrath. Stanton, the next one to challenge Denny Stevenson.
Stanton coming on hard, didn't get a great start here, and you see the traffic jam they have to deal with lap riders. In fact, let's stay with this for just a moment. It looks like Stanton has completed the pass right here. But look, Jeff's line has him behind a lapper. Stevenson sees that. He's got a clear track. He triples and holds on to the spot.
Stanton had enough laps, though, to come back to take Denny Stevenson. You see the number 4 bike right behind them. Steve Lamson, great charge to take a spot.
Stevenson surrounded by Team Honda. First number 5 goes by. Stanton completing his pass. Then number 4, Lamson knifes underneath, and he's in the 4.
That wasn't the last we heard of Denny Stevenson. He had a good semifinal round as watch Lamson as he gives a good shot on Stanton.
Here is the picture of confidence. McGrath waving to the crowd, even though Larocco is just about 5 yards behind him. Jeremy's philosophy, hey, I'm not scared of anything.
McGrath coming off the flu. And here's the amazing thing, Dave. He got the chicken pox earlier this week. Temperatures of 103 degrees, was in bed. Once again, did not have a chance to work out. McGrath winning the qualifying heat easily. Larocco, Lamson, and Stanton. Let's go to Jerry Bernardo.
Jeremy, not too shabby for a kid coming off the pox. How'd you feel?
Well, Jerry, as you can see, I'm breathing pretty hard. I was a little bit tired out there. I mean, every time I take a week off, you know, I just seem to take a little while to get back into it, and then hopefully by the main I should be all right.
I'm sure you don't like to lose. You're a little bit hungry after Craig's win at the last race.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry as ever. You know, I want to win races, and I want to win bad. You know, I think I've had a little problem at the last race. I was pretty sick, and then this week it just comes down again. I got chicken pox from my neighbor, so, you know, I mean, it's all adding up once. Hopefully I'll get it all over with for the year and end up winning the series.
I was going to say, how's this pox thing going to make you feel in the main?
Well, it's a tough track. It's pretty soft, and it's going to take a lot of strength for 20 laps, but I think I'll be all right.
All right, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more Supercross action from Atlanta, Georgia in a moment.
At the forefront of
final, these are our highlights now as the top 5 finishers of each semi go directly to the main event. Riders in this particular heat, Jeff Emig, Brian Swink trying to get to the main event.
Emig had real problems in his qualifying heat race. Let's see if he can rectify it here as they go 6 laps for a shot in the feature. He's got a hole shot.
Emig the whole shot with the Swinkster real close by, number 10 on the Suzuki.
Big tangle in the first turn, and let's see. Looks like Jeremy Buell, number 23, would be the only household name involved.
Squires, Reynolds, and Wallen also involved in that crash as Swink takes the lead.
Nice pass by Brian Swink. He got a good start. He puts the Suzuki out front early. It's an aggressive move, and that's the key on the first lap. You can't be back there thinking about it. You've got to go for it.
Swink coming off his best finish of the year in Tampa, a 4th place finish.
Opens up some ground early on number 6, Emig, as Doug Dubach, number 32 on the Privateer Yamaha, moves up to challenge.
Dubach, running a selected schedule, has had an 11th and a 15th place finish in 2 prior main events.
Dubach finds himself in a pretty good little street fight here with number 50, Buddy Antunez, absolutely self-sponsored and riding Kawasaki this year, former West Coast 125 star, trying to make the switch to 250s without any help.
He made the top 10 at Tampa last week, and he doesn't let Dubach off the hook here.
Big crash as Dubach jumps into the path of Antunez, who hits him in the back, and they both go down. Dubach comes back for 3rd. See how Dubach jumped from inside to outside? Boom! Antunez front wheel hits Dubach in the back, and they both go down. Buddy's clear out of the hay bales. Dubach came back for 3rd.
The competition just wasn't that close to Dubach at the time. Swink gets the checkers with Emig in 2nd and Dubach in 3rd. Followed by a couple of privateers. Our Jerry Bernardo had to chase Swink back to the pits after that victory.
After the heat race, you mustn't have been used to winning. You bolted on us. You didn't want to come over and chat or what?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't won in so long, I forget you're supposed to stop and do that stuff. It's just been too long.
How was that heat race?
It was good. I started second. I passed Emig right away, and I got a little lead on him, and then I just kind of, checked out some lines and stuff just so, I'd know the track for the main.
All right, well, good luck in that main. Can you tell us about your hairdo right now? You hiding something under there?
No, I'm just trying to stay warm. Basic, short hair.
Not throwing in the white towel yet, right?
No, not yet.
Thanks.
Not too removed from the bald look of last year.
He's had more hairstyles than Jeremy McGrath had victories. That's a lot.
Denny Stevenson, number 27. We told you that he comes back for a fine semifinal, and he goes wire to wire.
Behind him, best race of the night. Start naming the players here. 26 is Todd DeHoop. 11 is Larry Ward, who had a terrific early season and now seems to be trying to regain that momentum. 22 is Ryan Hughes. You're going to see a lot of these guys.
And number 12 on the KTM is Cliff Palmer. Stevenson, meanwhile, gets a good lead out in front. As Dave mentioned, though, the real battle is here. Number 11, Larry Ward, coming up on Travis Hodges. And also Ryan Hughes right to his rear, Cliff Palmer. These are all players in this magnificent semifinal round.
Look at him come 3 wide through the jumps, a traffic jam. I'd like for Doug Henry to watch this tape and explain to me that remark about it being hard to pass on this racetrack. I don't see it. I see 5 passes a lap.
Palmer and DeHoop coming across the finish line to jump right there with Ryan Hughes and Larry Ward right behind them.
Let's talk a little bit about number 22, Ryan Hughes. Why is he racing in the 250 class here on that green Kawasaki? On the West Coast, he's a 125 rider competing for the championship. Number 22 comes to the east side of the country. He can ride either class, and Kawasaki and the Split Fire team are allowing him to run in the 250 division.
And he took a 7th place in Tampa with an impressive run in the main event.
He's a good rider with a great future. Right now, it's DeHoop in front of Palmer, in front of Ward, in front of number 22, Hughes. It's a terrific race.
Ward to the outside. Makes the move on both DeHoop and Palmer.
Here they are again, 3 wide. That means something's got to give when they get to the corner. DeHoop puts a little block pass on Ward, and Palmer sees the opening and shoots by both of them, but then they get to the right-hander. He's stuck on the outside, loses those 2 spots back. They swap him too fast to keep up with.
A tremendous race as the top 5 go directly to the main. DeHoop in front of Palmer.
This is what happens, Art, when all the hungry guys get together. Number 12, Cliff Palmer, is a factory KTM rider. KTM not as highly ranked, perhaps, as the Japanese manufacturers. The rest of these guys, essentially privateers. They're out there racing for the gas money, and when you're racing for the money to get to the next event, that's a little extra motivation. The big buck superstars are all out of there. They're in the main event. These are the guys that are hungry.
Just behind DeHoop and Hughes, Larry Ward trying to figure out a way to get around those 2.
Larry Ward also trying to figure out what happened, because early in the year, he was the whole shot artist in the main event. He was the guy everybody said had found his form, and if he could just get into top physical shape, would be a contender every week. Well, now he says he's in great physical shape, but here he is stuck in the semifinal, wondering what happened.
Ward with the inside move on Hughes. Now these guys are battling for 3rd and 4th at this point with great racing. They've already made the top 5 to go to the main.
Long way behind Denny Stevenson, who's out there on cruise control.
And behind him, Cliff Palmer, who's had a tough time of it the last 3 races after a 9th place finish in Houston. Stevenson, Palmer, Ward, Hughes, and DeHoop go to the main event. Jerry Bernardo talked with Denny.
Denny Stevenson, first time in a long time with this win. You had like 60 stitches in your hand. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I did a little arena cross for the San Diego Supercross, trying to make a little extra money with my hometown. I hit a wall, smashed up a bunch of fingers, and never made it to San Diego. Missed Tampa, and it's my first weekend back. Got a couple of days of riding before this. I just wanted the hands 100%. I've been riding a lot, so I'm a little tired, but I just want to put Suzuki up front. There's not that many guys on Suzukis out there, and I just want to put them up front and show how good that bike is.
You're looking pretty good out there. Feel good for the main?
I feel real good. I just want to get a good start, and like I did in that semi, just stay smooth, keep everybody else behind me.
What's that thing on your chin?
Oh, Jerry, if I had to tell you, you wouldn't know.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
And the final 2 riders to round out the 20-rider field in the last chance qualifier, Buddy Antonez and Jeremy Buell advance. Hometown boy Ezra Lusk returns to the Dome next in the 125 main. Number 17, Ezra Lusk from Bainbridge, Georgia, winning his third consecutive race of the year in Tampa. A great battle for Robbie Raynard. His previous home track appearances weren't very lucky.
Yeah, I've always got good starts, and it just threw it away or collided with another rider. All that luck's changed this year. You know, everything's turned around. I feel really good out there today and yesterday. The track seems really good. The track workers did a great job on it, and it's going to go out and ride smooth and have a lot of fun out there, and hopefully bring home the Supercross win for Georgia.
Ezra told us he gets a renewed energy from the fans coming back to his home state. From the time Ezra ran the mini bikes in Georgia, his fans have anticipated his emergence here in the Supercross wars. They follow him everywhere.
He's been an inspiration to my son riding. He's not only a class rider, he's a class person. And he's turned out to be a great guy, so we love him. We follow him everywhere he rides.
He's awesome. We've seen him in Calhoun, Georgia. He is awesome.
He's a hometown boy, made it big. Watched him for years. He's always dominated every class he's ever run. He's fabulous.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He's been our friend for a long time now, and he's just bad.
Maturity shows in different ways, but in Ezra's case, his mechanic Ed Longacre told us he's more assertive, explaining what he wants out of his bike.
Yeah, it makes things easier from both standpoints. I'm not afraid to suggest some things for him to try, and he's not afraid now to tell me, you know, if the bike's not right, he'll tell me, and we work to get it 100% so that we can win more.
I just look back and laugh at all the times that I got nervous and just crashed, because I just feel so much better now, and I feel like I can go out there and do anything I want to, so hopefully it'll work out again for me.
Ezra Lusk, the winner of 3 straight 125 East events, now at the starting gate, preparing for his hometown appearance. Lots of riders ready to bump him off here.
Number 1 on that list, I would think, Art, would be number 33, Robbie Raynard. He challenged Lusk big time in Tampa. Ezra held on and won it. I wonder if Raynard has something for him tonight. Yes, the first 2 races, Orlando and Houston, were pole-to-pole rides for Ezra Lusk, and then Raynard really gave him a charge. So they're off. Raynard gets a poor start. Luck in the middle, Pedersen to the outside, Mike Brown also in there. Full shot, Chad Pedersen. Ferry is second. Lusk is now third. Raynard is back in 9th place. First lap, make a move. That's what Ferry tries to do. Pedersen holds him off. Chad Pedersen from Iowa leading it, and Lusk is going to have to pass some people.
Dave, let's see what he does on the triples here. He's the only one that makes the triple. Thus passing Ferry, moving into 2nd place. Chad Pedersen still out in front.
Very impressive that Lusk was able to do that jump right there, because he was a little out of shape in the previous corner. Theoretically, it would have cost him momentum. It seemingly did not.
Out of our picture, Raynard is now last as Ezra Lusk fights to gain the lead.
Boy, that's a huge break for Ezra. All due respect to Pedersen and Ferry, I'm not sure either of them has the speed to beat Ezra Lusk.
After the first lap, Chad Pedersen holding on to first place. Lusk is really giving him some heat, though.
He doesn't want to waste any time getting out front. It's always better if you can control the tempo, control the race. There's the pass. He's got the lead.
Ferry, number 28, off to his best start of the year.
And let's give number 92, Mike Brown, a call.
Brown on the outside, right there with the bird. He's got by Tim Ferry right now. He's taking out Chad Pedersen, and he triples Pedersen. What a move with Ezra Lusk next in his sights, and not that far away.
Great combination by Mike Brown. He went up on the rail to set up Ferry, and then kept the momentum down the straightaway, did the triple, and passed 2 men in about 50 yards. Nice move.
Brown is one of the only riders in this field beside Ezra Lusk who will take a triple on that 125. Sometimes it's pretty scary taking triples on these 125. Oh, Ezra Lusk spinning out at the corner. Brown picks up some space. Brown out-jumps him at the finish line jump.
Lusk knew that was coming. He looked back over his shoulder. He knew Brown was there. He just let him go by. There was no sense in contesting it because, again, Brown had the momentum. That is so much the key. Here's the mistake by Lusk. Rear wheel locked up, gets back on the gas. It's a little slippery, and he just spins her out, and that allows Mike Brown to come by us across the finish line.
Ezra Lusk battling with Mike Brown. Let's see about the triples.
Privateer versus the factory rider. Big opportunity for Mike Brown to shine here. Mike is from Gray, Tennessee, so he and Ezra have tangled a time or two before as they came up through their careers. And Brown is noted for his desire to charge, and he loves to go fast.
Ezra outguns him on the corner. Who comes out of the corner? Ezra Lusk taking back first place in a tremendous battle with Mike Brown. Ferry is not that far away behind Brown. We'll be back to the 125 main event in a moment. In Atlanta, in the 125 main, Lusk looks like he's on the track all alone at times, still tripling, not holding back, keeping up a good pace. And he has run away with this battle, but here is the confrontation right now for third. Jimmy Button, 34. Chad Pedersen, 51. They're behind Tim Ferry in second place.
And having added big time, here is Roy, number 80, a lap down after his crash. Button, as we said, likes to pass people. Pedersen, his most recent victim.
Ezra, having no trouble with the traffic throughout the race once he got up to it, is just coasting to victory.
40,126 Georgians on their feet to cheer for Yogi.
And number 28, Tim Ferry, the next one to come across the finish line pretty soon. He doesn't really have a challenge from the third place riders, but where the battle really is taking place is between Chad Pedersen and Jimmy Button. They should be coming up momentarily now. Tim Ferry's best finish, he had a third in the opening race, and there's the finish, but Chad Pedersen barely edging on Jimmy Button for third. What a charge by this young man Pedersen, who was second in the points last year. Lusk, Ferry, Pedersen, Button, and Brown are top 5 as we take a look, and rounding out the top 10, Curry, Krein, Raynard up to 8th place. John Dowd and Doug Nahan in number 10th place. 4 for 4 in the season, Ezra Lusk.
Yogi, hometown favorite, smoked him on that red clay you love so much. Tell me about your race.
Well, I got the start. Well, I was up at like top 3. And then I got by, I got in first, and then I had a little slide out there before the checker flag, and I was moved back to second, and I just rode smooth and got back into the lead and got back down to my pace that I was going to set at the beginning, and nobody was able to challenge me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is this 4 in a row, kid?
This is 4. You know, my Suzuki's working really great. It's worked great on the hard pack. Now this is clay and that Houston dirt, so I think the Suzuki's proven to be the best bike out there right now.
You got King Ed on the wrench, looking good as a team. Congratulations.
Yeah, Ed's working really great. We work really good together. My Suzuki's working good. My parents have been helping me out, and I want to thank the good Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe out there. And everything's just working out great. I love my Suzuki, I love my mechanic, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
And the crowd was loving you. Good job.
Thanks a lot.
4 for 4, but 6 races to go. Jimmy Button not that far away from Ezra Lusk in the standings.
Tim Ferry, a nice solid second. How'd the race go for you?
Pretty good. That's the best start I got so far this year in the main, and I'm happy with that, but I think I can do a little better. Ezra, really good race. He's his hometown. I know how it is and how hard you want to ride when you're at home.
Chad Pedersen was a long way from Fort Dodge, Iowa, but he raced a very fine, consistent run for third place. Jerry Bernardo caught up with him.
Chad Pedersen, how's it going? Got in there third, but it was a tough battle. I saw Brown, Dement, Button was hot on your tail.
Yeah, I was having a hard time out there. My arms pumped up, and I couldn't get going. But I just hung in there, and they were right a little bit over their head, and they went down, and I was right there to take advantage of it.
How about right at the end with Button? I mean, like right on your butt. What about that?
Yeah, that second to last lap, you know, I saw him coming, and I made quite a few mistakes on that lap. He got right behind me and came in the inside and tried to take my front wheel out, and kind of made me mad, so I went right back at him.
Wicked it up a little bit. You guys were like right next to each other over the finish line.
Yeah, it was a heck of a race. You know, I love it. It's fun out there.
Good to see you up on the podium. Good job.
Thanks a lot.
So Lusk, Ferry, and Chad Pedersen popped the corks after a fine 125 main event. Coming up next, it's showtime with the 250s from Atlanta, Georgia. Big question at the start of the season. Could the defending champion do as well this year as last? Well, he started off with 4 straight victories, and then in Tampa in the last gathering, Michael Craig victorious. Now, might it be the time for others to step up?
I think there was 19 other guys that was after Jeremy, and I was one of the guys that stopped them. a lot of other guys out there are really hungry, and they're all going fast. So, you know, I think that this ain't going to be the end of it. There's going to be a couple other guys that are going to be winning some races, and hopefully I can get a couple more.
You know, last year and the beginning of this year, he was riding a pace of his own, and I think we've all kind of stepped up to that pace.
Yeah, it could be, you know, 1 week. It probably didn't hurt his confidence that much, you know, being 1 weekend he fell. But if it happens again, then he's going to start wandering, and when he starts wandering, that just is going to make it tough for him, and he's going to start getting beat more and more.
Well, I think there's a lot of guys out there that are pretty confident right now, and, you know, they probably don't realize that I'm sick and I'm not at my best right now. But I'm still hanging in there, so, I mean, as soon as I get better, then they have a real problem again.
Right, he's won with the flu. When he lost in Tampa, he fell down on a very slick track. It was a track that was very difficult to get back into the fray.
4 wins and 5 starts. How much better can he get?
Okay, they're set. The adrenaline running high. Number 1 McGrath in the middle, out front Lamson and Matasevich closing fast from the outside. And Kudrowski, dangerous part right in the middle. He goes down. Kudrowski is down. He is in last place as he gets back up and looks ahead.
Story of his season, bad starts. Emick, number 6, has a hole shot. Every main event this year, the hole shot has gone to Yamaha.
Okay, it's Emick, Swink, Lamson, Jeremy McGrath, Matasevich, and Henry the order. Swinkster out in front, battling with Lamson now. Lamson on the inside.
Good to see Suzuki having some success in the 250 class. Swink finally coming alive. Their efforts focused primarily in 125.
With Emick out in front, Swink and Lamson running wheel to wheel. It's an opportune time, really, for Emick to get a better lead.
Emick will try to get away. Interesting to see what McGrath will do. He's up to challenge his teammate. Well, I guess I know what he's going to do. He's going to pass me.
Inside Lamson, he moves into third.
Now check this out, Art. How do you know which of those signs you're supposed to read when you're a rider going by there in the middle of the pack?
Emick is not pulling any distance as Jeremy has Swink in his sights. Wants a great East-West 125 rivalry. Jeremy has proven superior, of course, in the 250s. We'll be back with more in a moment.
You know me? You may not recognize me without my hair. I'm sized for only hair club.
Out in front, Jeff Emick. Brian Swink, number 10 in second place, and he spins out on the loose soil, and moving into second place now is Jeremy McGrath.
Bad break for Swink. He got out of shape in the corner preceding where he actually fell. Got up and bumped the hay bale. I think it knocked him offline, and when the traction broke, he was down.
Matasevich, number 21. Inside move by Mike LaRocco, but the chicken isn't making it easy on LaRocco, that's for sure.
Matasevich using the racetrack. Nothing dirty about that. Just moved over into a line that he knew LaRocco was going to use, but nonetheless a line that was his because he got there first.
LaRocco this time tries on the outside on this turn. Let's see if the chicken can cut him off.
6th and 7th spot the issue here, and again Matasevich using the shorter way around. That's not necessarily the fastest way around. The guy up on the outside using the rail has momentum, but so far LaRocco hasn't been able to turn that into a pass. There it is.
LaRocco out in front of Matasevich. Matasevich getting about as much out of that non-factory bike as you can. His top place this year has been a 5th place finish. Jeff Emick. But Jeremy McGrath looks like he might be able to take advantage of it on the straightaway. Jeremy goes into first place, and here comes Emick back once again, but he doesn't have the inside line, and Jeremy holds on.
You may have noticed Emick's foot flew off the foot peg. That was the fatal flaw. That was the mistake that left the door open for Jeremy McGrath. I was about to wonder if we might see fireworks between these two. Emick's been in the middle of all the controversy of late, but McGrath got by him cleanly, and I doubt that Emick's going to keep up.
Jeremy McGrath saying he was tired after the qualifying heat. Well, he's sucking it up right now. He's gone through one heck of a week with that chicken pox and 103-degree temperature, and it put him in bed for a day, and then he got back and really couldn't condition like he wanted to.
You make a good point. He was huffing and puffing in the interview after that heat race. My question is where the stamina will be lap 17, 18, 19. Maybe that'll be Emick's opportunity.
Stanton taking on Lamson. Stanton's had a good ride so far and wants to challenge.
Teammate battle, and in this case, seniority counts for something. Stanton looking good as he makes the pass with authority on Lamson and is trying to go forward. Ooh, now there's a crash behind him, and that's LaRocco.
LaRocco going down sets him back once again.
He's had tough luck this year. Here's another look at how it happened. You just barely see it out of the corner of the screen there. Simple spin out, got in the loose stuff, and didn't find any traction.
Number 8, Henry in third. This is a favorite track of Doug Henry's, Dave.
This is where he started his charge to the 125 championship last year. Nobody had won 2 races until they came to Atlanta. Henry doubled from here, and from that point on, he won them all.
It's a good battle right now. Stanton wants Henry. Stanton has moved consistently up the field. And speaking of moving up the field out of our shot, Mike Kudrowski is now in ninth.
We mentioned the controversies in which Jeff Emig has been involved this year. Number 6 most recent tangle was with number 5, Jeff Stanton. So when those two get together, and it appears imminent because Stanton is definitely closing on Emig, it's going to get interesting. There's Wyatt Seals. He's the new mechanic for Jeff Stanton, and you see the sign. Show me what you can do.
Well, Stanton is riding as aggressively as he has all year long.
And, Art, that was the thing that was missing last year. Jeff Stanton didn't show that aggression. He came out with it at Orlando, but he's been hampered by crashes. Aggression sometimes has a consequence, and that is that you fall down. And he's fallen down a couple times this year.
Okay, here's the interesting rivalry. You mentioned earlier, these two have had their problems. Stanton to the inside. Emig out jumps Stanton.
Emig gave him room, knowing that he was going to be able to retaliate. And no contact there. That's all clean. Emig tangled with Mike LaRocco at San Diego, tangled with Jeff Stanton at Tampa. There was ill will and harsh words in both cases. And, of course, his rivalry and run-ins with Jeremy McGrath are ongoing. So this kid that everybody fell in love with when he won his first 125 championship has suddenly become kind of the bad boy of Supercross.
Stanton currently in third place, chasing Emig in second. Number 1, Jeremy McGrath, is out there. He's looking for his 5th win in 6 races.
You see how the gap has developed here. Emig responded to the charge. When Stanton came by him, Emig retaliated. Now Jeff falls back, regroups a little bit. He can't fall back too far because here come the Army.
Craig, Lamson, and there is Mike Kudrowski in single digits now with Swink in 10th place.
Here we go again.
That's Stanton on the outside, passing Emig. Emig on the inside, though. Let's see what happens. Oh, they touch! And Stanton almost off the track. Let's see if he can hold on now with a good angle. Stanton has made the pass on Emig.
Already under scrutiny by the officials for rough riding. Number 6, Emig, has another contact pass with Stanton. Jeff was trying to cut back underneath him. Emig ran wide, took the line away. Stanton bounced off of him and then went wide. I'm not sure that I would call that either of those guys' fault, although I'm sure they'll each blame the other.
We'll be back with more exciting action from Atlanta, Georgia in a moment.
Have you ever wondered what happens when your engine gets old? Well, let's take a look. After a car has been on the road for 40,000 miles or more, the normal wear and tear to the cylinders can reduce engine power and increase oil burning. So what can you do to put some life back into your engine?
Really cased it hard. I'm surprised he got back up so quickly.
LaRocco wasn't quite straightened off the corner when he launched for the jump. You'll see it here. He's aiming for the bail, tries to correct in the air. There just isn't room to do it, and he's off the racetrack.
Boy, how tough these guys are. He's back up and riding. Number 1, Jeremy McGrath, with chicken pox and all, has about a 6-second lead out in front. He's cruising. Stanton. Oh, Henry goes down, back on the whoops. That means Michael Craig will move into 4th place. So Stanton in 2nd, Emig in 3rd. Craig in 4th, Lamson and Kudrowski 5th and 6th. Kudrowski is really picking up some points with some courageous moves.
Henry really didn't lose that much time with that crash. His misfortune was he crashed right in front of all those guys that were ready to pass him anyway.
Jeremy McGrath off to a huge lead. Stanton with his best ride of the season. Here's a little battle for 7th place now. Henry, after getting up, is having to hold off Mike LaRocco, who's been down twice and keeps charging back.
LaRocco has a terrific amount of courage. LaRocco has become a desperate man since he blew up his motorcycle at, where was that, Anaheim? And since then, it's just been crash, crash, crash. I think he's trying too hard.
The other time in Anaheim when he crashed it, the bike just gave up. Crankcase let go. He took a 20th there, and that really pushed him out of the points race as far as taking over number 1 is concerned after 2 very competitive appearances against Jeremy McGrath, taking 2nd places behind Jeremy.
LaRocco has Henry covered, and as Jeremy McGrath pulls away, I'm reminded of the Cycle News preview of the '94 season. Chris Johnham wrote, "Too many riders treat the sport like a job once they reach the top, a frame of mind that inevitably leads to burnout." Jeremy McGrath is on top, and I don't see any signs of burning it.
Here's Stanton in second place, so you see the margin that McGrath has as Stanton just going over the finish line jump for the final lap.
Here's a guy right here who's victim by his own admission of that burnout, tried to get a new outlook for the '94 season. I see distinct differences in the way he's approaching this game. The results, unfortunately, are very much the same.
Dave, if you were sick, like Jeremy is, this is a great race for you. You got a big lead. You can take the double, not the triple. You've got no pressure.
I wish I could perform as well healthy as he does ill.
This guy's amazing. Bouncing back from the loss to Michael Craig, ill with chicken pox. You saw how winded he was after the interview, and yet look at this. He is absolutely unbeatable.
Well, you can tell he's mighty tired because he did the one-hander instead of the knack-knack to the fans when he went over. And he does it again, the one-hander. Stanton coming in second place. And Emming, fighting hard, will take third, it looks like.
Good ride for Stanton. He should be proud of that one.
Back on the winning trail, Jeremy McGrath. Stanton second, Emming third. Craig and Lampson rounding out the top 5. In the top 10, some notables. Kudrowski coming all the way back to 6th, Rocco 7th. Let's go to Jerry Bernardo.
Jeff, hot and cold all year, but it was hot tonight. What was up with that little bump and run with Jeff?
Well, I just had a little run in with him a couple weeks ago. He took me out of the race, finished 17th. I'm not going to mess with guys like that. I'm just going to try to get around and do whatever I can to win the race. You know, you can't concentrate on guys like that and still win the race. But I rode good. I'm happy the way I rode. You know, I just want to get back up there and win some races.
I was going to say, you looked really strong. Saw you crawl back up onto the podium. Happy about that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime I'm on the podium, you know, that was my goal for tonight after finishing 17th last week. So, you know, I'm here. I didn't have a great heat race. I turned it around and back up here.
All right, good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah, that 17th in Tampa took him out of second place in the points. Jeremy McGrath with a 33-point lead, and Stanton moving back to third with Kudrowski.
Okay, Jeremy, earlier you had that heat race win. We asked you about the little sickness factor. How'd that affect you out there tonight?
Well, Jerry, actually I was really tired until about the 12th lap. I settled down a little bit and started riding my own pace, and, you know, then I kind of relaxed. I mean, every week I take a break. I have a little trouble with my arms pumping up, but, you know, tonight, you know, luckily it wasn't too much of a battle, so it was good for me.
Well, you knew you were out front. You had some good pit signals from Dr. Skip Norfolk, a little confidence builder.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he does a great job every week. You know, couldn't have a better mechanic, so, you know, it helps to have the advantages like that, and, you know, I just went out there and paced myself, and hopefully by the next race I should be feeling a lot better.
Put yourself back where you wanted to be, in the middle of the podium, right? Not like the last race?
Yeah, that's right.
Attaboy.
Thanks.
Really an incredible day for Jeremy McGrath, who obviously does not feel well, but the others weren't able to take advantage of it, Dave.
Sign says it all, Art. 5 wins in 6 starts. The fact remains nobody out there can beat Jeremy McGrath except Jeremy McGrath.
He made one mistake in one race and lost. Other than that, he's undefeated.